Hi everyone, welcome to week 11 of our 2017 Home Organizing Challenge. Join me here every week and I'll give you a simple task to focus on throughout the week and you'll baby step your way to a more organized home. This week we are continuing our focus on getting rid of all of the papers that are just lying around your home, taking up space and frustrating you. And we will be looking specifically this week at newspapers and magazines. What happens so often is that we're so excited and interested in all of these various activities, so we get, newspaper subscriptions or magazine subscriptions based on our interests. But they don't always align with the amount of time that we have throughout the day to sit there and enjoy the magazines or the newspapers. So what we see is that things tend to pile up. We don't know, what to do with everything. It just sits there. We feel guilty because we don't want to waste the money that we paid to get the subscription. And it's just kind of this snowball effect that happens. And you can very quickly find yourself buried in newspapers and magazines. So this week, I want you to take 15 minutes every day and focus on getting rid of some of the excess and setting up really smart storage solutions for moving forward. All right, so the first thing that I want you to do is be honest with yourself. And this is a really hard step, which is step number 1. So I want you to think about all of the various subscriptions that you have, and do they align with the amount of time that you have throughout the week to actually get through, a full magazine. So think about the different things that you have coming into your home and really ask yourself, is it time that I let go of that subscription? I've had it for so long. I really enjoyed it for a small amount of time or many, many years, but right now I should probably just put it on hold and maybe I could get it again later. So ask yourself those questions, and those are going to be some tough questions. But once you figure out what your ideal subscription is, whether it's getting the newspaper 7 days a week or maybe stepping back a little bit and only getting Sundays and holidays because you just can't keep up with the influx of paper and you're reading half of it online anyway. So if that's happening to you, once you decide what that, ideal amount is, that ideal frequency, I want you to start looking around your house and find a spot that you want to keep the newspaper. That newspaper should be kept somewhere where you're going to have access to it when you have time to sit down and actually read it. So if you read the paper every single morning, then I want you to set up a small tray or a shallow basket or something like that to hold that paper until you get to reading it. What we find so often is that, I want to read that paper in the morning with my coffee, but my morning doesn't go the way that I planned and the paper ends up thrown all over the table and then it gets buried by all of the different things that are happening throughout the day. So don't let the paper get buried and don't let the paper become the thing that's burying other important items. Give it a home. Give it a specific spot in your home. So I love using baskets to corral newspapers. And the good thing about a basket is it does set a limit. So if you're the type of person who gets the paper because they love to read it, but you don't always get to read it, using a basket might help you because it's going to instill that limit. And it's, if you're getting it every single day and every day that basket is filling up, once it gets to the top, you have to be honest with yourself and say, okay, I'm probably not going to get to Monday's paper, so I'm going to go ahead and recycle it now. And so you can figure out what your threshold is. Now, the other thing I want to talk about this week are magazines. Magazines are a big one. So often we get magazine subscriptions because we've always gotten them and they always just tend to sit there, maybe taking up space on a coffee table. They look nice until the pile starts to grow and then it's falling over. So same principles with the newspapers. I want you to take a look at the subscriptions that you're getting for your magazines and figure out what is the ideal number for you today. Okay, so in current life, with your current schedule and the things that you have going on, what is the best number of subscriptions for you? And once you figure that out, let go of the ones that you no longer enjoy or you no longer think that you can keep up with. And then for smart storage, I love using vertical space. You can see behind me here, we have some shelves, and they're actually not shelves. These are spice racks that have been turned on their sides, and you can mount them to the wall, and it's great for book storage, for magazine storage. And the thing that I like most about using these racks is it is definitely a limit because it's not going to hold a whole lot. So I tell myself once this shelf is full, and it usually only holds about 4 issues of a magazine, if I haven't gotten to those issues and another one comes, I force myself to kind of do a really quick flip through to see if there's anything I'm missing, and then I toss it. Then it goes straight into the recycling so I can make room for the new ones. So this system really works for me because it forces me to make those decisions that I might not make normally. Normally I would probably just throw it on a flat surface and, walk around. So I want you to just, really think about, is there any vertical space that you can use? If you don't have vertical space to use, then do the same thing that you're doing with your newspapers and find a basket. But again, make it a really shallow basket because it's going to force you to make those decisions you might otherwise not make in that moment. All right, well, that's it. 15 minutes every day this week. Just start paring these down, figuring out what your ideal subscription number is. A lot of this content nowadays can be found online. So if you're comfortable reading online, then you might be able to get rid of most of this. And it might feel a little bit, free for you because you're not going to be swimming in all this paper. All right, well, I hope you have a great week. Leave me any comments or questions and I'm happy to help. And we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.